Rumors of an Ebola outbreak in the Tamale metropolis of the northern region are completely false. Mr. Hussein Mahama is the regional disease control officer.
The simulation exercise was an exercise that we conducted close to reality, but in actual sense not real. And in this case, we use a condition like Ebola virus condition. With such conditions, it enables the system to test its response ability in response to such situation, because it's a quite strange disease. And so it wasn't really a real situation we were talking about, but an act to reality.
Meanwhile, our northern regional correspondent Murtala Isa is on the line to tell us more. Hello, Murtala. Murtala, how are you? If you can hear me, how are you? So where from this report of Ebola outbreak?
So there's a simulation exercise going on at the Northern Regional Health Directorate in relation to how prepared they are in an outbreak of an epidemic, Ebola inclusive. During this period, they use a scenario of an Ebola outbreak. Unfortunately, the communication, I'm sure, did not go that well with some reporters, and so they went on air to report that there is indeed, this was a real story of an Ebola outbreak. But the report, as you heard from the regional disease control officer, it is not true that there is an Ebola case in this country.
So can you tell us what are the details of the simulation exercise?
So as we speak, they have directors from the Directorate of Health in Accra who are present here, and they are just creating scenarios of various outbreaks and how they are supposed to react in an event that there is a rumor somewhere or there is a real situation. And so that is what they've been going through. I am told it is for today and tomorrow. And this will enable them to identify lapses in their disease response or epidemic response situation, so they can make amends in an event that there is a real situation for them to deal with.
Okay, thank you so much, Murtala, for that information. The North-East Regional Directorate of the Ghana Health Service says the region is experiencing a surge in COVID-19 cases. The Health Directorate says the region had not recorded any COVID-19 case since 16th April 2022 until the 8th of June 2022, when the region recorded 2 cases. However, since then, the region has recorded 61 cases with 52 active cases in 7 districts in the region. This came up at the 4th Regional COVID-19 Vaccination Days launched in Busunya, capital of the Nkranza District, North District of the Northeast region.
Third National COVID-19 Vaccination Days exercise in the Northeast region, which ended on June 12, 2022, 35,189 vaccines, representing 56.5% doses, were administered for a target of 62,251. So far, 43,701 doses have been administered to students aged between 15 and 17 years in both public and private schools. The Bono East Regional Director of Education, Mrs. Ifwemwa, was worried over the isolated cases being recorded in senior high schools in the region.
In order to do away with its impact on education and the nation as a whole, we must continue to be vaccinated and adhere to the enhanced hygiene and safety protocols in our schools and communities so that everyone would be protected.
The Bono East Regional Director of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Fred Adomako Boateng, said innovative measures are in place to ensure that SHS students in the region are all vaccinated.
We have had a number of disruptions, especially when the students apart from the fear, the panic, the disruption, and all the trauma psychologically. Why don't we make sure that as many of them are vaccinated?
The Bono East Regional Minister, Mr. Kwesi Edujan, said the region has enough vaccines for their 426,984 unvaccinated population.
There is going to be 4th National COVID-19 Vaccination Days exercise beginning Friday 24th of June to Thursday 28th of June 2022. We have enough vaccines available to vaccinate all our 426,984. That's about 51% unvaccinated people.
The target during the 4th vaccination exercise campaign in the region is to administer 62,251 doses.
As the country's COVID-19 cases exceeded 1,300 with about 200 reported cases daily, there are concerns that the country may be headed for a 5th wave. We have in the studios a member of the COVID-19 management team of the Greater Accra Regional Hospital and an emergency physician in person of Dr. Emmanuel Adipo to give us a true picture of the situation on the ground. Good afternoon, sir, and welcome to our studios.
Good afternoon.
So how worried is the situation?
I would not say we should be worried because our preparedness for this surge is better than it used to be. However, the word of caution or the encouragement is for everybody to, as it were, take note of the prevention precautions of hand washing, wearing of masks when you are in public places, especially if you are in a crowded meeting or in an enclosed environment. When you are visiting somebody in the hospital, you should be masked up so that this surge is happening because we are generally in the flu season, and Omicron, the dominant strain we have seen these days, is presenting with flu-like symptoms. So there are many people who are going to be infected, but we shouldn't be alarmed. The management team is ready to open up some of the treatment centers.
So then, which strains are being reported and among which age group?
The predominant strain is still Omicron. However, the laboratory experts are telling us that they're beginning to see some hybrids, meaning that there's an Omicron strain with a Delta strain, almost a 50-50% hybridization, which is tipping especially the unvaccinated into severe forms of the disease. Currently, most of them are on admissions in the various treatment centers.
But we are being told that children below the ages of taking the COVID vaccination are also catching up. Exactly. So then they can't take the vaccination. So how then do we handle them? So
the catch is there are vaccine dosages for the pediatric group, which we have not brought into the country yet. So it's not that the vaccines are not available. What we have to do now is to purchase vaccines for such age groups so that we can protect them as well. Because since they are beginning to gather in schools and in other public places, they are also vulnerable in catching the disease.
So at what point would you say we've hit 5th wave?
We are already in the 5th wave because an active case of about 1,308 as we speak, with new cases of about 218. It is a cause for worry because the infection is spreading. Because generally, like I said, we are in the flu season. In the rainy season, temperatures come down, and therefore people are more vulnerable at this time to the infection. Also, I will think that we should reconsider the testing at the airport, possibly at a reduced price, not completely, putting it away, because people who come in, and now all the borders of entry have been opened. Our land borders are not being checked for the COVID anyway, but the airports, the testing and quarantine measures have been relaxed, so you can still get people coming in who will escape detection at the port of entry. And once they go home, nobody knows whether they are quarantining themselves adequately or not. And these bring in the infection. So looking at where you are coming from the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, would you say you have enough or adequate resources to handle severe cases? We have the Greater Accra Regional Hospital. We have handled the COVID situation pretty well. However, you know, we cannot say we have enough. So corporate organizations, when we get there, we're going to fall on them again to provide the help they did provide us when we were. I can tell you that in terms of human resource, we are ready, and we're ready to go back. So before you go, June, July, August, we're told to, you know, keep ourselves warm because COVID might be high at this time. What do you tell the public? Yes, so in addition to the prevention protocols, which I would want every corporate organization to bring back, you know, rebrand your Veronica buckets, you know, bring back the hand sanitizers, you know, bring back the masking in enclosed areas, that there are going to be gatherings for more than 2 hours. Let especially the elderly and the children mask them up when they are in those gatherings for a prolonged period. And let's remember to take our, you know, vitamin C, zinc, the immune boosters. Yes, the immune boosters. And let's also remember to take warm fluids. Hydrate yourself adequately and get enough vitamin C. Expose yourself to the sunlight because you get your daily dose of vitamin D, which also helps boost your immune system. Thank you so much, Dr. Adipo, for your time. Enjoy the rest of the day. You're welcome. The Bono East region has recorded its first case of the monkeypox disease in the Techiman municipality. Our Bono East regional correspondent Samuel Ayama is currently with the Techiman Municipal Health Directorate Disease Control Officer, Mr. Abraham Nom, and joins us on the line with updates. Hello, good afternoon, Samuel. What is the latest, Samuel?
Yeah. Currently, with the regional Techiman Municipal Health Directorate Control Officer, Mr. Abraham, to tell us the update. So, what is the situation?
Ayama, can you please reposition yourself because I can hardly hear you?
Yeah, I said currently the regional the Techiman Municipal Health Directorate Control Officer. To tell us the latest
Okay, go ahead, Samuel.
Okay, so now, as you so that they'll be able to, you know, capture the diseases as per the case definition stage. So surveillance was ongoing, and one patient visited one of our facilities, and she was actually suspected of having monkeypox. So specimen was taken and was sent to Kumasi Center for Collaborative Research. So the specimen was taken by the 17th of June 2022. And then was sent on Monday. So on Monday, 20th June 2022, the test result came and was positive. So these people were informed, and we are putting every measure in place to make sure that we don't spread the disease to the person who is in. So currently, what is the situation that we are ready to yesterday. Thank you very much. Definitely, the patient has a pain and wound. Now the people coming associated, everybody association. Okay. So what is the message? So the fund is given that everybody should be informed. There's not something that people in the municipality should panic. We will do everything that we can to contain or to contain the spread.
We should also make sure that we prevent ourselves from not contract a disease by keeping conditions and also social distancing that we are practicing the COVID-19 is the same. We also make sure that we stay away from these animals that transmit disease. The rat, and then what have you spare, we should stay away from. This is what we want to do. We should make sure that we get them to get the
very much. I have been speaking with the Kechima Municipal Health Director, Dr. Mr. Abraham Noon, and he is the chief of the concerning the monkeypox disease case that they have recorded. Now we tell the facility, the name of the facility that they recorded the case, but we will continue to monitor and then keep our viewers updated.
Thank you so much, Samuel Ayama. Keep monitoring and then update us whenever you find something more interesting. Several parts of Sekondi Takoradi in the western region got flooded following hours of heavy rains on Tuesday, June 21, 2022. Most roads were rendered impassable, leaving several commuters stranded in the rain.
Sekondi Takoradi yesterday recorded its fair share of the torrential rains from morning to dusk. Apart from the central business districts and a few other areas noted for perennial flooding, other perceived safe areas got flooded. Notable among the flooded areas was the stretch between Apowa Township and St. Mary's Boys SHS on the Takoradi-Agunankwanta Highway. The floodwaters blocked the road, rendering it impassable for vehicles and pedestrians. This resulted in a gridlock as vehicles to and from Takoradi parked for several hours waiting for the water to recede before crossing. Some vehicles which attempted to drive through the floodwaters were washed away, others got stuck, while some got nearly submerged. Pedestrians were seen wading through the water with the aid of some volunteers. This, the residents attribute to the seeming neglect of a portion of the road which has developed craters over time and has been left to deteriorate and thus worsened by the rain. The Western Regional Security Council and officials of NADMO have visited the scene to assess the situation with a view to providing temporary solutions to the havoc. The Western Regional Minister, Mr. Kwabna Otreda Kumensa, who is also the chairman of RECSEC, said the floods at the St. Mary's stretch of the road is an engineering problem and that funds will be secured to quickly fix the problem.
The rainfall pattern itself so the volumes have just increased, and that's also a major difficulty that we have to look at as a climate change as a country, so that we continue to reduce our carbon emissions and then reducing the temperatures that is generating so much rainfall these days.
The Western Region NADMO boss, Mr. Abdul Ganiyu Mohammed, however, attributed the flooding in the city to choked storm drains and erection of unapproved structures and encroachment on waterways.
The Greater Accra Regional Coordinating Council has led a demolition exercise on lands belonging to the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research at Adentan Frafraha in the Adentan municipality of the Greater Accra region. My colleague Walker Abronoma witnessed the demolition exercise and has joined me in the studio to give me some details. Walker, welcome.
Thank you.
So, what transpired there?
What is there, or what we saw, before it. Of course, there were structures,
yeah.
But what I've seen now is that everything is gone. I mean, everything. If I say everything, you should understand.
You mean everything we saw earlier in the footages they sent is gone?
Now it's gone.
And were the owners there?
They were there.
What was their reaction?
Yes, some of them, to be a surprise to you if I tell you, but some of them were showing, some kind of displeasure about what has happened. And of course, others are also happy that they knew it, but they did what they did, or they went on to buy the land. That's they were not supposed to be sold to anybody because it belongs to the CSIR. but they bought it, and some of them were saying because it was cheap and all that, that's why they took advantage to get it, and now it has happened. So it's good for, I mean, they're happy that thing has happened. Some of them also were alleging that activities of landguards was, I mean, they took advantage and then they were selling it anyhow to people. And
so did you interact with the owners? Did they check whether it was a genuine land they were buying from the Lands Commission?
For one particular person, he told GBC News that they've taken such matter to court and they've won for the third time. So it means they have good, I mean, documentation to that. But you and I would understand that it belongs to CSIR.
Yeah.
So whoever gave them that opportunity or the authority to do that, maybe we have to find out later on and find out who
exactly what happened. So were the security? Oh, I can see the security personnel there, and what was their role?
Yes, they were there actually to protect the demolition. I mean,
but fortunately, you weren't attacked.
No.
Okay.
I thank God for that for my life. I have to go to church on Sunday.
Thank God.
Thank God for
okay,
that,
thank you so much, Walker, for your time. So we would be expecting a more detailed report. Bye. Thank you. Traffic signals are meant to ensure free and orderly flow of traffic, provides opportunity for pedestrians to cross and also help vehicles to enter intersections. On some major roads in Accra, however, most of the traffic signals are not functioning, creating confusion in some areas. Accidents. GBC News has been out and about to find out more about these malfunctioning traffic lights.
Being the political and economic center of the country, the city of Accra has the highest population and very busy human and vehicular traffic. Traffic lights therefore play a key role in regulating the movement of vehicles and people in the city. Currently, there's traffic congestion in parts of the city simply because many traffic lights are not working. Traffic flow was at a snail's pace from the Kanda area towards the Kwame Nkrumah interchange. At the Kanda roundabout, the traffic was virtually at a standstill and continued all the way through the Nima Police Station junction and the Paloma Hotel portion of the Ring Road Central, basically because the traffic lights serving these areas are not functioning.
For the past 3 weeks that I've been coming around, I've realized the traffic light hasn't been working. And truly there have been no officers around to control traffic here. And as for how we drive our way through, it is, we just watch and enter. When you find your way, you just go through. I think the authorities, those who are responsible for this particular accident, should come and then do something about it.
Since last 2 weeks now,
some of the pupils at the Kanda cluster of schools are worried that some of their colleagues have been at home recovering from injuries they sustained from car and motorcycle knockdowns as a result of malfunctioning traffic lights.
We find it difficult to cross the road because I want to cross the road. A car cannot pass or this one. The last time a school student got knocked out with a car right now and his leg was broken. So we beg the government to come and help us and fix the traffic lights.
The Ghana Private Road Transport Union has dismissed reports that it has increased transport fares by 15%. The union said a consultant it engaged to conduct a market survey into the prices of the components that went into the transport business proposed a 15% increment, but the proposal had not been approved. It says it will still negotiate with the partners and that the new increment will not go beyond 10%. The price of petrol had gone up by 10% to sell at an average price of 10 cedis, 95 pesos per litre, while diesel is trading at an average of 13 cedis, 50 pesos per litre, representing about 14% increment in the 2nd June 2022 pricing window. We have in our studio the Industrial Relations Officer of the Union to speak to this issue. Good afternoon, Mr. Moore, and welcome to our studios.
Afternoon.
I'll be glad if you can tell us the outcome of your meeting today.
Yes, it was yesterday. Today we presented our outcome to the Transport Ministry.
Okay.
What we did was from last May to this early June, we realized, we saw it coming, that perhaps this will be one of the shortest period ever in our history that upward adjustment will appear. So if you can remember, last week we started some sensitization program. Normally each time we come up with an upward adjustment, passengers descend on us with insults. Some even attack us with any form of brutality. So we did that just to sensitize the people, the mind of the general public, that should it happens that way, they shouldn't blame us. We almost use about 60 to 70% of fuel to run transport. That isn't the only component we use. We have the DVLA documentations, local government, that is the assemblies.
But I think fuel is the major factor.
Yes. So we look at that, and we have a standing order whereby if the fuel prices goes up for about 10%, we have to reassemble ourselves, look for the other components, and see how many percentage we could come up with.
So having gained acceptance from the final consumer, what percentage should we expect?
This time around, fortunately for the consumers, those are our clients, and the drivers, we ourselves, we did not bite too much.
Okay.
We just show our teeth to the general public by coming up with 15%, because most of the components that we have to consider from May to this time hasn't gone up, and the one which went up is just insignificant that we don't have to dwell on it. So we religiously, for the second time.
So if you're saying insignificant, then that means we could have still maintained the old price, and it would be.
No. We can't maintain the old price. We are running at a loss. Currently, our industry is crumbling on the floor. So should we do that, madam? There will be a time nobody will get into the industry, because nobody will get into some business which wouldn't benefit the person. So this is how we are trying to revive and make sure it's one
the
again
industry looks
becomes,
attractive,
very attractive
and creative as well.
Much coming, yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Abbas, for your time. Enjoy the rest of the day.
We also thank you for making it public for the public. I mean, very things open for the public to understand our plight. So we also thank you very much for that.
Enjoy the rest of the day, sir.
Thank you.
The Oti landfill site in the Ashanti region will soon be transformed into a modern waste treatment plant. When completed, the foul and repugnant smell and the attendant health hazards that residents in the enclave are exposed to will be a thing of the past. The Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources, Mrs. Cecilia Abena-Dapaah, who toured the site, commended the contractor for work done so far and was hopeful the project will be completed on schedule.
In 2019, Cabinet approved the decommission and redesign of the Pong and Oti landfill site. The ministry had engaged Zoom Lion Ghana to undertake the decommissioning and redesigning works at the two sites. The ministry also engaged EAP Consult, a local engineering firm, as consultants to supervise the project for quality assurance. The 20-year-old Oti landfill in the Ashanti region, which covers over 65 acres of land, has the potential to host wedding receptions, parties, picnics and other social gatherings when the site is transformed into a multi-purpose waste treatment facility. The project will involve site fencing, reshaping and access road rehabilitation, among others. Work on the Oti landfill site is expected to be completed by December this year. The Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources, Mrs. Cecilia Abena-Dapaah, who visited the site, commended Zoom Lion Ghana for the rapid reclamation of the Oti landfill.
I am particularly happy with what I've seen so far And as they are saying, the next phases will complete the project, hopefully by the end of the year. I'm just looking around to appreciate what has been done. Because if you had been here from the beginning, then you appreciate what has gone on.
The lead consultant at Zoom Lion Ghana, Mr. Kujose, explained the progress of work and the associated benefits when completed.
We are talking of about 65 acres, and this is land that has been claimed back. Initially, you couldn't step on this, but now you can step on it. You have vegetation, you have greenery around, and it can be used, recreational centers, etc.
Women at Nyoli in the West District of the Upper West region say their adolescent girls spend more time looking for potable water for cooking and other household chores than they spend in the classroom. This, they say, affects their education and exposes them to sexual exploitation.
Nyoli is one of the communities in the West District. Many of the residents are engaged in petty trading and farming. Though the community is fast developing, access to potable water is a challenge. Madam Amadou Aishetu Tapiani is a resident of Nyoli. To help address the challenge, a development partner, Forward Development West Africa, in collaboration with the USAID and the District Assembly, drilled mechanized boreholes which provide water 24 hours a day. Mr. Ahmed Yakini is the Regional Director of Forward Development in charge of the Upper West and Savannah regions.
Forward Development West Africa, through its major investors, is looking to make a significant investment in building and managing water infrastructure in selected communities in Upper West, Savannah regions through a service delivery agreement with communities and district assemblies.
The District Chief Executive for West, Madame Vida Diorote, described the intervention as timely and appropriate. She said the Assembly will continue to collaborate with like-minded organizations to improve the lot of the people. The CEO of Water for USA, Mr. Matthew Hangen, says access to potable water is crucial for good health and wealth. Access must therefore not be impeded by one's location.
The second Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Mr. Andrew Amwaku Esiama, has ordered the Committee on Agriculture to investigate the issue of alleged outsourcing of cocoa rehabilitation farmhouse to private service providers. This follows a statement made by the MP for Bia East, Mr. Richard Champon, based on a letter he has in his possession. The committee is to report to the House within 2 weeks.
Mr. Speaker, Cocoa is owing the workers, that's the weeding ground, since April 2022. If government, with all the financial muscles, could not maintain these farms, could not pay weeding grounds, how on earth can private service provider carry this very burden? The minister must come and explain to us, because the workers as well as the affected cocoa farmers are going through hell.
If for any reason the Cocoa Board thinks that some component of the work of the extension services could be privatized because they are not able to pay properly, then, Mr. Speaker, all of us need to be asking at what cost? What will be the mechanism for them to use to even ensure that the proper thing is done?
If my colleague has found out that there's a letter going around telling them to cease operation and that the Cocoa Board is going to outsource the program to private members, I think what is right for us to do as a committee, and for that matter, the finance committee, because they also champion the syndication fund, now we need to invite Cocoa Board first to find out what has gone on so far.
I would prefer that you refer this matter to the Committee on Agri immediately.
The issue that has been raised from the statement from our brother is referred to the Agri and Cocoa Affairs Committee. You are giving 2 weeks to report back.
You're watching News Hour here on GBC News, your news and governance channel. Business is next.
Good afternoon. Welcome. Time now for the business segment, and I am Dorothy Ajamai. Despite a negative 10.2% return on the Ghana Stock Exchange, Deputy Managing Director of the exchange, Abena Amuaha, said the market recorded the highest volume and value of trade since its creation in 32 years of existence. Year to date, the equities market has traded over 1 billion cedis, whilst the fixed income market has done 110 billion cedis.
Composite index performance, we are seeing record volume and value traded this year. This year on our equities market, we've traded the most we've ever done since the market was formed 32 years ago. Over 1 billion Ghana cedis traded, albeit a lot through MTN Ghana, but still a record we are very, very proud of. On the fixed income market, we set it up to ensure that companies, aside raising equity capital, could come to the market and raise long-term fixed income securities. And there we've had tremendous success in terms of the overall market, and yet we are challenged to attract more corporate issuances onto the market. So far this year, we have traded over 110 billion volume of securities on our fixed income market. Cumulatively, since we founded the market in 2015, we have traded over 570 billion volume of securities. The first year of setting up, we traded 5.2 billion. And this year so far, we are up 22% what we did last year.
Move to the Bono East region, where the MasterCard Foundation Young Africa Works project and the Ghana Enterprises Agency have presented startup kits to 340 persons. Beneficiaries were given 6 months training, and it is under the Apprenticeship to Entrepreneurship A2E scheme.
Youth unemployment has been a major challenge for governments across the world. Even though young people make up 33.3% of Ghana's population, 12% of them are unemployed. The Young Africa Works project, an initiative of MasterCard Foundation, is being implemented by the GEA to train and mentor individuals as well as businesses to become entrepreneurs. Lack of access to markets and ineffective vocational and technical skills, business mentors, and lack of capital and startup kits for entrepreneurs were cited as the main factors impeding entrepreneurship in Ghana. In the Bono East region, the over 300 beneficiaries have successfully completed apprenticeships in dressmaking, hairdressing, welding and fabrication, auto electrician, baking, leatherworks, floral and balloon decoration. Beneficiaries were from Esinafo North, Atibuamanteng, Sano North, Doma Central, Sunyaning and Brekum East. At a handing over ceremony, the Chief Executive of GEA, Mrs. Kosiyanki Aye, said the support to the youth is part of government's aim to build a critical mass of entrepreneurs in Ghana to create jobs and grow the economy.
The direction is to build and so there's hope for everybody to be able to get an opportunity like this. And what is important is the success of this program, because this intervention has shown us the need, the excitement, and that when people get these tools, they will actually utilize it and become better entrepreneurs, build anything that will support.
The Bono East Regional Minister, Madam Justina Owusu-Bahini, said the government recognizes how much skills acquisition helps to deal with unemployment, hence the attention on TVET.
I urge you to use the kits
for the intended purpose. These kits mark the beginning to fulfilling your dreams, and you must start at once to establish the businesses without any delay. Your success and failure in your future depends on how you will put into use these startup kits given to you today.
GBC News spoke to some beneficiaries. This is the final phase of the distribution of startup kits to beneficiaries of apprenticeship to entrepreneurship. Back here in Accra, the maiden annual general meeting of the National Banking College has been held. The principal of the college, Madam Gloria Korte, said the essence of the meeting is to give assurance to stakeholders that the college is operating in a transparent and professional manner, and also assure the various banks that the reputation of the institution and their various banks has been protected.
The National Banking College, established in 1994, is a professional training institution with a focus to serve as a center of excellent financial services education by serving as a training institution for bankers and financial services professionals. By this, the college has consistently improved the technical and managerial skills of financial sector professionals, thus establishing itself as a premier financial service training and research institution in Ghana and within the West Africa sub-region. At the maiden annual general meeting of the college in Accra, the principal of the college, Madam Gloria Korte, said the meeting was to assess the affairs of the college and to assure members that good corporate governance is adhered to at the college.
What we do is to ensure that employees in our financial sector are abreast of what is happening within the industry, both locally as in Ghana, in our sub-region as in Africa, and of course globally, because most of the banks also work with other banks in the diaspora, and it is important that we are aware of what is happening in the diaspora, where the world is going to, where our industry is going to, and to adequately prepare staff members or people in the banking industry in facing these challenges.
The membership of the college is made up of all Bank of Ghana licensed banks.
From the interbank markets, let's have the performance of the local currency and some commodity prices. And that's it for the business segment. The international news is next.